What's going on, guys? This is another episode of Two Goals, One Cup. I'm Nino, and we got Darren right here next to me. How you feeling, man?
What's going on? I'm tired.
It feels like it's been years since we've recorded.
Yeah, it's been about a good 2 weeks, I think, right?
I hate the international break.
International break, all the stuff that's going on in the world.
Yes.
It's a busy time for a lot of people, so... But yeah, so let's get right to it. We got 2 games to talk about today.
Yes.
First one against Mainz. The second one for the UCL today against Galatassary.
Heck yeah. No, that Mainz game, that was good. It was not as we didn't control the game as well as I want. Mainz is very dangerous, and that kid Gruda or whatever, he put on a show. And I didn't realize that he was German, so you already know he's coming to Bayern Munich.
I don't know. I think we're going to sign Florian Wirtz this summer, so it's my...
Yeah, what did you think about him and Musiala link-up play during the international break?
I mean, against the U.S., it was good.
Yeah.
Against
the US, though.
Against Mexico, it was not.
Yeah.
It's like the tale of two Bayerns, the tale of two Germanys. It's... I'm glad Julian Nagelsmann started off with a win against the USA. And remember, both USA and Mexico are ranked ahead of Germany now in the FIFA coefficient, right? So, in theory, Germany should have lost both those games. Yeah, and not necessarily, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
USA on paper is better.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at their players and like individually, all of them play for European teams, except for like
that's
maybe
been
like
a
one
transition that's been coming for many years. It started really under Jurgen Klinsmann,
he definitely did.
Where we started all the good American players are playing abroad in Europe.
Yeah, there's this book called Das Reboot, and it talks about like how the aftermath of World War II led up to Germany winning the 2014 World Cup.
That's...
No. Trust me, man. At first, I was like, what? But, like, they talked about, like, after that, Germany wanted to rebrand, right? Like, we're not racist. Like, we're sorry, you know? Yeah. And so they started opening up their borders, and they started, like, allowing more immigrants.
Well, shit, if that's the case, then I look forward to the U.S. winning the 2060 World Cup. Because our borders are open.
Yeah, they are. But yeah, so Jurgen Klinsmann, though, he was in the book, though. Yeah. And he was credited to a lot of the success that happened in 2014. He brought in. And so, like, and even when he was the
Yeah, but he was a head coach before. Wasn't he a head coach before Joachim Löw?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But, like, he set the groundwork, letting all of these, like...
I mean, that's like a 10-year period, though. So
yeah, but, like, dude, I mean, look at the U.S. men's national team, right? Like, he started finding players that had American lineage somewhere down the line, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, he was convincing them to play for America. And so, like, I like his thought on, like, okay, we got to figure out how to compete at the world stage. And I think that the U.S. men's national team today owes him a very big debt of gratitude, because before there was not even. I mean, there was this. I forget this dude's name, but he was black. He had like gold, like blonde or whatever up here. He dyed his hair blonde or whatever.
Yeldon?
Huh?
DeAndre Yeldon?
No, not DeAndre Yeldon. He's tall. He played forward. I've never
Paul
seen
Pogba?
No, yeah, I've never seen somebody so bad in my life, and I'm like, how is this dude a professional?
Oh, is it Xerxes?
Xerxes, it might be. That sounds familiar.
How to say his name.
Familiar. But that guy I was just like, how is this dude a professional? Like, this makes no sense to me. But and it's crazy too, because I was watching the David Beckham documentary. Have you got a chance to watch it yet?
No, I'm good.
He was talking about.
I watched a movie already. It's called Bend It Like Beckham. It's essentially the same thing.
You know what? Like line for line almost. But no, they showed him like going into the MLS and how like the teams played and all that stuff. And I was just watching those replays and I was like, how were these guys professionals?
Well, and it's interesting, right? Because back in the day, the New York Cosmos were like one of the best teams in the world. They had Pele, they had Beckenbauer for a couple of years, I'm pretty sure. And so, like, what happened with that? Like, they left, and then
it was all about the money.
It still is.
No. I'm saying like the money pumped into that league.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Well, that's what happens when You know, we talked about the Saudi league before. Like, if you have enough money, you can make it a competitive league, and you can bring in some big star names.
Yeah.
But what comes with that? Like, you gotta. What's the best trophy you can win?
World Cup, baby.
Well, the World Cup.
Champions League?
No, because the Saudi league wouldn't be in the Champions League.
No, I'm saying, like, what's the best trophy that you can win?
That's what I'm saying.
World,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, those leagues, like the U.S. is a good example too. So the MLS, and then you have like the Saudi league, and all the Pacific leagues, like in South Korea, etc. Well, the biggest trophy they could win is the Club World Championship, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's not every year.
Nope. Nope. It's I don't know. As much money as and as big of the names that they're bringing, and I'm sure the eyes, because like even me, for example, I have notifications for the Saudi League teams that have like the but I'm not watching them games. I'm not checking for the. I'm just like, oh, cool, Benzema scored, or like, oh, cool, like Neymar's injured again.
Yeah. I saw some crazy stat. It was talking about his injury. It was like, the team that he plays for filed with FIFA for like the injury, like insurance. Like if you get injured playing international duty, you can go to FIFA and you can get like you get X amount of money, but it's a cap. And for Neymar's contract, it was like the amount of money that the team would get for his injury covered like less than a month of his actual wages.
Jesus.
And I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, his demands like for his they're crazy.
Yeah, it's a shame because Neymar's a good player, and I think that move tarnishes his legacy.
I think he tarnishes his legacy.
Right, but he's not like he's not old enough to go to retirement league. No. Like Ronaldo's old enough, Benzema's old enough. These players, a lot of these players are old enough, and the ones who aren't old enough, you know, to retire, so to speak. You know, I don't agree with them going, but hey, they're chasing that money, and that's fine. You do you.
Do what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the Mainz game.
Right. Yep.
3-1 Coman. I'm happy to see him back at it. You know, he scored.
That was a good finish.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah,
knuckleball and everything.
Yeah, man, that was really good.
Yeah,
I was very, very happy to see that happen. And then he scored today. But yeah, we're still in third. I hope Leverkusen and Stuttgart slip up.
They will. They have to. There ain't no way they're gonna go the entire year without slipping up. It's just Bayern needs to not slip up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So after Coman's goal, and then Harry Kane scored in the 16th minute. So Coman scored in the 11th. Harry Kane scored in the 16th. I was like, all right, blowout time. Let's go. 7-0. Let me see a Harry Kane hat trick. And then it kind of died. Right?
Yeah, and this comment I'm about to say, it can definitely apply to today's game as well, but it's like, it goes back to what you were saying like a few weeks ago. We get the ball, we take it up, and then we just pass it back. Mm-hmm. And then we just pass it back and pass it back. And it's like, what are we... And then rotate it. What are you rotating for?
Well, against Mainz, we had 62% of the possession.
Yeah, because we're... most of the possession was probably crazy. With the defenders.
Mainz had 38% of the possession and actually had more shots than Bayern Munich in that game.
Well, yeah, they were pressing. They were counterattacking. They were doing really...
Not as many on target, but...
Yeah, but still, they were threatening.
Yeah. And then, so 2-0, most dangerous scoreline. Mainz gets a goal... 43rd minute, right before halftime.
Yeah, and that was a rocket.
That was a great shot.
That was a rocket.
Nobody's saving that.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't have had that much space.
No,
So,
what do you think about that Kim de Ligt partnership?
I like Matthias de Ligt, and I like all our center backs.
Yeah,
but I think that Upa and Kim are a better center back pairing than Kim and De Ligt. And that's not a dig at De Ligt, but him and Upa covers for a lot of Kim's mistakes. De Ligt is not. So we'll get to it when we talk about the Galatasaray game, but there was a few times, it was like 3 or 4 times where Kim made a mistake. Whether it was misjudging a ball, a bad pass, etc. And we were lucky to get away, without it. But I don't know. I think De Ligt is a better standalone defender than Kim, but I think Kim is more solid when paired with Upa.
Yeah, I don't know, but the thing for me is that Upa and Kim, they both can overcommit at times.
Sure.
Yeah,
and I mean it's one of those things that like we're kind of nitpicking, right? Because we're blessed to have 3 world-class center backs on our team. You got Kim, who's was on Napoli Serie A Defender of the Year.
Yeah.
You got Upa, who has limited the number of mistakes he made compared to last year. Until it matters.
Yeah.
And then you have De Ligt, who came off a strong year as well. So, I don't know. I think all 3 of them are good. I think the pairings just need to work out. Their communication needs to be a little bit better, but Bayern is average, gives up more than a goal a game.
Yeah.
So.
And I think what also needs to happen is that, perfect world, all 3 of them are healthy, right? Mm-hmm. One of them has to be okay with just sitting, right?
I mean, do you rotate them, though?
No. I don't think that you do rotate them at all. I think that you need to get that communication now, that chemistry now, so that when it's those latter stages and we're playing against better forwards, we're playing against teams that rotate like we rotate, the front 3, then we won't be playing like, oh, man, you were supposed to be watching him, oh, man, that was your guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no...
Yeah. I think if I had to pick a center-back pairing, it would be Kim and Upa. Mm-hmm. De Ligt is a little bit too slow on the ball in the build-up, and I think that's what Thomas Tuchel is saying, too. And he said it in interviews.
Yeah, he said it, but I like the yin and yang of that, though. Like, I like the one that will sit back and...
Yeah, but Kim's not great with his distribution either. He can hit sometimes, yeah, sure, but other times it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, but neither is Upa, though.
Yeah, but Upa's the only one that can hit that pass that goes from the center back behind the first line of press and into like the center attacking mid or into the winger or the striker who's showing in space.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of hard, right? Because I don't. Both of them, like De Ligt and Kim, have the potential to hit those passes. They don't, and I don't understand it. Because Bayern's very good when we can get in between the lines, and that's what a lot of the top teams are doing now. It's they're almost playing like a 4-1-1-4, and that winger that center attacking mid is moving behind spaces. Like watch Jude Bellingham play. Yeah. He moves behind that line, waiting to receive the pass, and Musiala does it like that too, where he's waiting for that pass and he gets the pass and then he turns and then we can run at the defenders and we have numbers because the 4 are already in front of him.
Well, shit, since we don't have a daggone right back, why don't we just put all 3 of them in at the same time and put Davies in the midfield? I mean, but then we gave away Stanisic, our other center back, that
right
kid or whatever.
Cover,
yeah, all of our other defenders are injured, so unless we buy a bunch of players this January,
I think we're gonna buy a center back. That's a depth piece. I think we're gonna buy a starting quality right back. I think we're gonna buy a world class potential center defensive mid. Mm-hmm. So he's not gonna be an established one.
Yeah, the Brazilian kid or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not about that.
You know
like
which
that,
one I'm
not
talking
that
about?
young. Yeah. I forgot his name though. I'm saying like I think we're gonna spend 60 to 75 million on a center defensive mid.
You really think we're gonna be spending that much money in January?
Mm-hmm. We have to. But our depth is terrible.
Yeah.
We can't recall Stanisic from loan.
Why?
I'm assuming that we can't because it's a year long. It's not a 6-month loan.
Yeah, but I'm sure he has every player has a recall option.
Not if it's not included in the negotiation.
There's no way.
There's got to. I bet they don't.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, I think we're going to spend a good 100 million, maybe a little bit more. And I think we'll bring in a young winger too. That kid from Schalke, if we don't get him in the winter, I think he might come in the summer.
For me, I think we should not ignore completely, right? I think maybe, like you said, one young winger or attacking type player. Our focus needs to be defense. That's it. Because in stages, that's what we do, right? We'll buy we'll buy defense one season, one transfer window, and the next transfer window we'll focus on midfield and all that stuff. Unless there's like a freaking crazy like, yo, we gotta get this dude.
Well, that's what I mean. It's really the offense's turn. You got Gnabry, Sane, Coman, all coming up on the end of their contracts. Like Sane's contract ends in 2025. I think Gnabry might be the same. Maybe it's a year later. I'd have to look it up, but I think it's 2025 or 2026. You got Kingsley Coman, who's in the same boat, 2026.
So just renew theirs, and then buy the other ones.
That's the thing. Do we want them all?
If we're trying to be financially, responsible, right? You renew the attackers, right? That way you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And then you just buy the defenders now, and then the next transfer season, if the attackers want to leave, that way we can have time to scout.
I think our midfield is what needs.
Our midfield was non-existent today. That was crazy.
I know we'll get to that,
yeah.
But that's if there's one focus area that we need to focus on in the winter transfer window, it is our center attacking mid and our center mids.
Put Kimmich back at right back. You heard it here first.
I hear it everywhere. But he's not a great defender.
What is his position, man? Passion?
Yeah.
He's the morale booster?
He's the passion coach.
He's the passion coach? He's the morale monitor?
But that's crazy because you know what? He was the man of the match against Mainz.
Oh my god, I hate when that happens.
He had a 8.2 rating on SofaScore. But he didn't play bad. I mean, accurate passes, 94%. 2 key passes. 5 long balls, 5 completed. 1 big chance created, 2 shots on target. Won most of his duels. 1 is only aerial duel. Only lost possession 7 times.
What's up with that cross accuracy?
Oh, that's a different thing. Like, he should not be taking corners. But yeah, I mean, it's not that. It's frustrating because we nitpick, and today's a good example too. Like, we're going to nitpick at the game, but at the end of the day, it's a 3-1 win.
Yeah. And
it's the same thing with the Mainz.
But I guess, you know what? Not every win has to be convincing. You're not going to control every single game.
Well, define control.
No, what I'm saying is like you're not going to have all the possession score. Like the other team's not going to have any shots on target. Like
right.
That's controlling the game, right? But
fans expect Bayern to be perfect every single game.
Yeah.
More shots, more on target, more possession, more. And that is an expectation, but there's going to be times where that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And you need to squeak out wins, and that's what we did today.
Yeah.
But going back to the Mainz game, I was happy to see Goretzka score too.
Yeah. And then he broke his little hand. His little hand.
Because he did not have a good game other than that goal.
No.
Won 2 out of his 6 ground duels. Didn't win any aerial duels. Had lost possession more times than Kimmich, which is incredible. No block shots, dribbled past once. I mean, he didn't have a great game minus that goal, but he still had a 7.9 rating. And the thing is, we should have scored more than 3.
Yes.
Against Mainz, and we didn't, and that's okay. I mean, I'm not, we're still averaging 3 goals a game in nearly every competition. That's what I'm saying. We should be money line on a 3-1 victory every single week because it's 2 in a row.
Yeah, it is 2 in a row.
But yeah. Did you see a Ulreich save too?
Woo. Yeah, man, that
was like 3 games in a row. He
just
comes up this crazy save because he had one today too.
What I love about Ulreich is that he knows his role, man.
Yeah.
He knows that.
That's why I love Chupo. Like the players who just know their role.
They're just like, you know what? I'm the backup. I'm here if y'all need me. I'm ready when you're ready. All right. Yeah. I love it.
I will say that I have gotten more comfortable with Ulreich.
Yeah.
And I said this the other week too, where like when we pass it back to him, I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't like be like, you know what I mean? Like just pucker up a little bit. I'm a little bit more comfortable with that, and he's made some phenomenal saves, like world class saves.
Yeah.
And so the question is Neuer going to be better?
I think Neuer has all the ability in the world.
I think 39 years old.
Gigi Buffon, when did he?
He's like 44, but he stopped playing. Like
when did he actually stop? Like living
I don't know. I'd have to.
I think that was
pull him up in Transfer Market and see his transfers.
We're running into the robbery issue. where they did so much, so talented, so good. When they're on the field, they have moments of brilliance, right? Mm-hmm. But they were impeding the growth of the club, which is what Robbery did, which is what Neuer is doing, which is what Thomas Müller is going to do.
You think so?
Listen, I love them more than life. Okay, I love them more than my own life. But when we think of the club, we got to think of the club, not the player in these moments. Thomas Müller, his World Cup, not Thomas Müller, this many games, this many wins. Yeah. We have to think about the progression of the club, and the progression means the newer players or the ability to no player that no young kid. I mean, because you see it now a lot, right? The young kids these days are like, "Yo, I want to play. If I'm not playing, I'm not going." Yeah. And so we're losing out on opportunities because they're like, "Yo, I'm not going to start over."
Well, I think the problem is that like Robin and Ribery's case, I agree, but we didn't have any young wingers that we could play.
Yeah, but we didn't have them. You're right, but we weren't gonna go buy any. We weren't looking for them, and players didn't want to come because Robbery was there. They're bricks in the foundation.
Yeah, I mean but Kingsley Coman was there, but he was still.
He's a different type of player.
He's still young. Yeah, but he was still young too.
He's a different type of player though. Kingsley Coman was like, all right, I'm gonna put my head down and work. I'm gonna get my time, and he's played at big clubs throughout his entire career. Yeah, he's never played at a B-side team ever.
No, I don't think he's never not won the league. Yeah, in every he's like almost 26, 27. Like how long is he? You should just keep that up the entire. You go down in the record books. Never. Every year he played, never lost.
If he moves to England eventually, he's got to go to like Man City or like Real Madrid or something like that for Spain.
But yeah, so I mean,
that's what I'm trying to do with the Tell in my EA.
Stop it!
No, my EA FC, dude, because I just won the league with Bayern Munich. I won the treble. And so
shocking. Would you win the final like 32-0?
Hey, Tell is a goat, all right. And then now I'm with Arsenal, and we're gonna win the treble again.
Well, you can live in fairyland just like all the other Arsenal fans.
And then I'm going straight to Real Madrid, baby.
People think Arsenal were gonna challenge City this year, and it's just
not this year. Not this year.
Last year was it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so the Mainz game. I was happy. I think we should have scored more, but then Stuttgart and Leverkusen won as well. So just really a workman performance. Keep up the pace and move on to the next Bundesliga game. Luckily we play. I think we play. Oh, I forgot who we play next. I think it's Cologne. Darmstadt. Yeah. They're at the bottom of the league. I'm pretty sure.
Tabelle, they're number 12.
Are they?
Mm-hmm. 8 wins.
Oh, that's 8 matches.
8, my bad. That's crazy. 2 wins, my bad. 5 losses and 1 draw. Yeah. 13 goals for, 22 against.
Yeah. I mean, our table, the Bundesliga table is shaping up to play out pretty nicely by the end of the year. I mean, you got the top 5 teams, the top 4 teams all within 1 game of each other.
Yeah, and Leverkusen hasn't lost a single freaking game.
Yeah, I know.
When did we play them?
Leverkusen?
Yeah.
We tied them, too.
No, next. I want to see when we play them next.
It's
February 10th.
I was going to say, it's like match day 5. Or not 5, but 22.
Yeah.
Because it's half after the winter break. But again, we'll have a completely different team then, too. Well, not completely different, but... We're going to bring in some new players. That's what I mean.
I hope so, man.
Go out with the credit card and go to Costco wholesale and buy some footballers.
Yeah, I hope so.
I don't know why I thought we played Bochum next. Is who I was thinking of, but all right. So let's transition to Champions League.
Yes, Champions League. That was a crazy game.
I was disappointed.
I was very disappointed in how we played. Obviously, the first goal from Kingsley Coman, right? Mm-hmm. That was good, right? That was good.
Started off great.
It almost didn't get to him because Sané had a bad game today, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think
the defender, he slid. I don't know what that was. I don't know why he decided, because he had a good game.
That was incredibly poor defending.
But he had a good game though. like he had a really good game. Their defender, the Turkish dude. But yeah, Coman scored. It was great. And then that. What do you think about that penalty?
Soft,
right?
Incredibly soft.
I think he almost. It's like
there
jumped.
was slight contact, but then like he jumped over the actual tackle from Kimmich, and that's the thing. Like, it's frustrating because the refereeing all year in all the leagues, it's just not good. Like it even went to VAR, and VAR's been incredibly questionable. You know, so it's like you're losing the transparency of it. Like if you are sure about your decision, then every single VAR like conversation should be public.
Yeah,
should be released every single time.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that there was that, you know, the referees were paid off and they were trying to get Bayern to lose, but I'd be interested to know what the rationale was, because yes, there was contact, but was it enough for a penalty?
One of the only yellow cards that I thought was deserved was Sané fucking kicking the ball after. I don't know why he did that.
No, that was silly, but the referee also set a precedent there.
Yeah.
But what's frustrating is one of the Galatasaray players did the same exact thing and did not get a card. Later on in the game.
But Sané knows.
Oh, he knows. He knew what he was doing.
Like,
and it was pretty far after the whistle. I'm okay with that yellow card.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the penalties. Soft penalty. But Icardi was pretty cheeky with his Panenka.
Yeah, man, you know, he that's a good player, man. And I was thinking about, when I was watching him today, I was thinking about like all the drama between him and the Argentine national team and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, man,
I think he's always been a good striker.
Yeah.
He just was wasting away at PSG.
Yeah.
Just wasting away.
Wasting away.
And he's doing really well this year too. I think he has like 15 or 16 goals in like 16 or 17 appearances, something like that.
He's doing really good.
And it's Turkish league, but whatever. But
shit, the way that we were playing today, it looked like we played in the Turkish league. That's how bad we were.
We didn't play good. And
they were like rock and roll the entire time, pressing us the entire time. Like didn't give us any time on the ball or any time to think or anything like that. And they were sprinting. They were 100 miles an hour the entire game. And, well, not the entire game.
Well, that's how you beat Bayern Munich. You have to press them all game, and you know you have to limit their chances. Like, so pull up the stats here, right? Galatasaray had more ball possession than Bayern Munich.
Yep,
it's crazy.
But it makes sense. We couldn't keep the ball.
No, well, yeah, because here's what we do, and this is what we talked about earlier, right? The ball goes to the center back hits it to the left back goes back to the center back goes to the other center back goes to the right back, then it goes up to the right wing.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they're pressing the whole time, right? So they're running at you. And our right back goes back to the center back to the center back, out to the left back. And they're still pressing.
Yep.
And then it goes back to the center back, and then our center back hits a long ball to Harry Kane, who's so isolated up top that it's an easy win for them in the air. And then they get the ball and they turn. Yep. It was the whole game. The whole game was like that.
Well, not only that, too. Like, anytime that Sané was getting the ball, right, on the left, I don't know why he was taking so many touches. He had 2-3 chances to pass to Kane. And I don't understand what the issue was. I don't understand. Maybe he's still... Because he was very emotional that game, you could tell.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that card and all that stuff kind of rattled him a little bit. But maybe he wanted to prove something.
Right.
But that extra touch that we've talked about countless times.
He had 2 quasi breakaways, and I do think one of them should have been a PK, but the one towards the end of the game, that they did a review on, and the goalie clearly made contact with Sané, but he also saved the ball. Like he nipped the ball, but then took out Sané's legs, so. I was surprised that actually wasn't a penalty, but it's just Galatasaray outplayed Bayern Munich today.
Their midfield, I don't know if their midfield was really good, but ours was non-existent.
Well, it's because Leimer's playing midfield. He's not even fit to. He's a depth piece at maximum. You know, the British commentator said something that I was watching on CBS Sports, and so he said, Leimer's in center mid, something like that today.
Normally he plies his trade as a right back, and I was like, what?
Yeah,
but I'm like, I mean, the way he's playing, nobody would know.
Yeah,
you know?
nobody would know he plays for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, exactly.
You would think he plays for a third division side.
Yeah, we play.
Really,
He's
a depth piece. That's the thing. He's a depth piece, and we need to address that. With a broken hand, Goretzka's going to be out for
3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Right. So, Leimer and Kimmich is going to be the pairing going forward. Like
I'd rather you put De Ligt up there or somebody.
He's too slow on the ball.
Somebody, a defender.
I think what you do is you put Musiala in the middle.
Nah.
You put Musiala in the middle, and you put Thomas Muller as the center attacking mid.
No, you don't put Musiala in the middle. He's not going to stay back. And
but we basically play a 4-1-4-1.
You know what happens when Kimmich is on an island by himself?
Yeah, well, luckily, we don't have that hard of a schedule until the winter break.
Yeah.
It's teams that are going to park the bus with maybe the exception of
So then why not
Stuttgart.
put in your guy?
Who?
Kravitz or whatever. Lenny Kravitz. Yeah. Kratzig. Yeah. Why don't we put in your guy? You love that dude.
I know, but maybe Pavlovic too.
Yeah, but I don't. Musiala, nah. This ain't FIFA. He's not staying back.
I want to see it play just like Germany did with him and
Wirtz.
Yeah, except it's Musiala and Thomas Muller.
I feel like Thomas Muller would stay back more.
Nah. But I vaguely remember, maybe it was Pepper. Someone tried to play Thomas Muller as a center mid.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're an
idiot.
idiot.
Have the touch for that.
But I just want to go back to, I want to go back to the statistics here, right? Because Galatasaray had a 3.08 expected goal.
Okay.
They missed quite a few sitters. They hit the post. They had more possession. They had 20 shots. Yeah. Only 4 on target. But one of them was another phenomenal save by Sven Ulreich.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, man. The wall.
Yeah. They blocked 6 of our shots. They only had 5 corners, which sounds really low to me. I thought they had more than that. But yeah, I mean, we got outplayed. That's the thing. We got outplayed.
Very much
they
so.
Had 5 more big chances missed. I mean,
and one thing I thought was really cool is how the fans, like that whistling stuff. I understood it at the beginning. I just did not realize that it was. I didn't think that it was going to go that long. They did it. They kept it up the entire game. That must have been deafening. To be on that field and just hear all those whistles every time you touch the ball.
Yeah,
and
I mean, it's an incredible atmosphere to play in.
You could tell it was shaking us. But it was shaking us.
Sure.
It was shaking us at the beginning of the game because
shaking me. I was scared. Yeah, but it's just a really good atmosphere to play in as a home team.
Yeah,
I did think that was going to be one of our more difficult games in the Champions League this year.
Yeah, we said it last week, right? Because I was listening to our podcast on the way over here today.
Shameless plug.
And
that's half the plays.
It is half the plays, half the downloads. But no, I was listening to it, and both of us we were just like, yeah, this is gonna be a tough game. This is gonna be really tough. Turkish. And
what was my prediction? What was our
prediction? We both said 2-0.
Did we both say 2-0?
Yeah, we both said 2-0.
Without that soft ass penalty,
we
probably would have been spot on for the 0 goals again.
And honestly, the only reason I feel like we won because we did not play well. The only not even defensively, it was just a bunch of panic back there. And the only reason why we won is because Galatasaray could not keep up that pressing the entire game.
Yeah, right around the 60th minute. I mean, when they started making those, their very first sub was, I think, at the 58th minute, something like that.
Yeah. The kid from Chelsea, right?
They were gassed, yeah. I mean, and that's okay, right? You played well up until then, but Bayern just held on and then punished them within a 10-minute period. So the scoreline is more flattering than how Bayern actually played.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, a win is a win. I mean, we are 3 wins out of 3 in the Champions League. We set multiple records, right? Now it's 37 games unbeaten in the group stage. That's also now 8 straight away wins.
Yep.
Credit to the team for holding on and pulling out the win.
Yeah, but as a Bayern fan, a true Bayern fan, it's just disappointing.
That's the thing. Is Thomas Tuchel the right coach for Bayern?
I don't think it's the coach, man. I don't think it's. We've been playing disappointing for a while.
Under Nagelsmann too?
Yeah. It's not the coach.
I
It's the mentality in the team. There's no leaders. We don't have any leaders.
Well, we do have leaders. His name is Joshua Kimmich, and he is so passionate that he soaks up the passion for everyone else.
Yeah, but he's not a leader of men.
Yeah, I know we've had that conversation.
Yeah,
but that's why I'm interested to see Neuer come back.
He's a leader in the sense that he leads by example, his dedication and all that stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
he leads by example. You're right. Where he turns into the opposing team.
He did that today.
I know he did it today, and he lost possession of the ball.
This, man?
That's why I brought that up, because I knew you would get triggered.
Yeah, man. I was like, come on, man. That
you see it though. Now you see it
every time he does it. I see it. Yeah. I'm like, oh god.
We almost gave up a goal because of it.
Yeah.
But I'm not just blaming Kimmich. Like, Sane had a bad game.
I think he was just in his head.
Limer just... I don't
know.
He
just runs aimlessly.
Yeah,
he's a liability.
I'm on it. He got it one yellow card, and I was like, he's going to get a red card before this game over. So I'm actually impressed that he did not get a second yellow.
So you think we should have kept Sabitzer instead?
Yeah.
I would have preferred Sabitzer.
Yeah, because even at the beginning of last year, when we kind of we weren't playing great, but then they did the Sabitzer and Kimmich pivot.
Yeah, that was good.
And it actually, we looked fairly dominant for those 3 or 4 games.
He knows his
exactly.
role.
I'm just going to stay back and hit a fucking wonder shot every once in a while. But that's the person we need. Is someone who knows their role, but they need to know that their role is a center defensive mid.
Yes, 100%. Lima is a liability. I can't wait till we get a right back.
He's a liability at right back. He's a liability in center mid. I'm not saying Kimmich had a great game either, but it's hard to play. It's hard to do try to play a dual pivot if only one of you is pivoting.
Ain't no pivot.
Exactly. There is none. So yeah, I mean, I think we'll do all right. Mm-hmm. It just, we got the harder games out of the way. We got Galatasaray and Copenhagen at home, and then Manchester United away. And based on how United's been doing it at home, Old Trafford used to be a fortress.
Oh my god, yeah, it used to be terrifying to go there.
Even up until last year.
No.
Yeah, they hadn't lost a game at Old Trafford up until 3 weeks ago in over a year. But now they've lost 3 straight at home, 2 or 3 straight, something like that.
That's the coach.
Yeah, Eric Ten Hag out. And it's crazy because people want him at Bayern Munich, and I was like,
no way. No. There's no way. I do remember though when he was at Ajax, and
sure.
I wanted him because I was like, man, this about to be Pep Guardiola part 2.
Yeah, cool. I want Sir Alex Ferguson because he was good maybe 30 years ago.
Yeah, man. Sir Alex Ferguson was the GOAT.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I see Bobby Charlton passed away.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did see that. Sad.
The opening for the Manchester United Copenhagen game that's going on right now. They carried out a wreath with the dude playing some bagpipes and then Eric Ten Hag walking out with the wreath. I was like,
you need somebody British walking out with the wreath.
You need someone with hair. Just kidding.
Yeah, it looks like.
But yeah, so I
Professor X
in a wheelchair. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this week, who we got coming up next is Darmstadt next.
Yeah,
right,
Darmstadt
Saturday or
next.
Sunday?
Let's see. We got Darmstadt on Saturday. Thank God. I don't like Sunday games. It throws off.
I don't
my
either.
whole
It throws.
Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably working, so take a half day that day.
Yeah, my wife actually might be working on Saturday too. Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it's gonna be good for us to get a little bit of rest.
Yeah,
because we got the early Champions League game and your standard Bundesliga time slots. So,
and I think also another thing to take into consideration, right, is that our players just got back from that long trip overseas, and so maybe they're still.
Yeah, you talking like Sane and the German players.
Yeah, all the Germans.
Yeah.
And so, that's one thing I didn't really think about until just now.
Yeah.
Because you just said, give them a rest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but is it... It's a 6-hour flight though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And you're in first class. Like, I get the traveling takes some time out. You know, it's the time difference that really gets you.
Yeah.
Right, but like I've been on flights that are like 18 hours. That's a different jet lag.
We haven't done that and then play. But the American players too, they came from overseas too. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they were just playing in the MLS.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, all of them.
And the Mexican players, most of them play.
There's a few out there in Europe.
Yeah, but there's a few that play in Europe.
It's the lower tiered leagues, but
they're already rested because it's sitting on the bench.
Yeah, and even back to that, I didn't think Germany looked that bad though.
Nah.
I think, does that make us favorites for the Euros? No. Are we going to do well in the Euros? I think we'll do better than people think we're going to do, but I don't think it's going to be because they finally figured it out. You put a giant ass number 9 as a target man, and you'll do well. Fulcrum scored like 9 goals in his 10 games.
Yeah, but they didn't put Fulcrum in the Mexico game until like later. And then what did he do when he got in?
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. Like, come on. Like, we need a number 9. Germany is built for a number 9. Bayern is built for a number 9.
4-2-3-1 system is built off of a 9.
That is the best.
It's built off a 9 and a double pivot. Those are the 2 key parts.
That's what you need, baby.
Yeah.
That's the best formation known to man.
I would rather see a 3-5-2 from Bayern, but that's just me. With the triangle in the middle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what we would have to do to get the best out of what we have now. Yeah. The players that we have, the types of players that we have now. Because trying to do a 4-2...
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that I don't think we've experimented enough. Like, I'm kind of disappointed, right? Because I know... Like, if we're winning a game 3-0 and it's in the 80th minute, or 3-1, it's in the 80th minute, something like that, like, put those young kids in. Mm-hmm. Put Pavlovic in. Let's see how he looks. Yeah. Put Kratzig in. Let's see how they look. It's mind-blowing how long Thomas Tuchel waits to make subs. Like we were talking about earlier. Our first sub against Galatasaray was in the 78th minute. Mm-hmm. And he put in freaking Sar.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Mazraoui needed a break? Yeah, okay, that's fine. But Sane wasn't doing shit.
Yeah.
He should have been subbed out in the 60th minute.
He should have been subbed out in 60th minute for Tell. That's what I thought was going to happen.
No, I wouldn't have subbed him in for Tell.
I would have.
I would have moved Musiala to the left wing and put Thomas Muller in.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
But for Thomas Muller not even to feature is crazy to me.
Yeah, he's trying to push him out.
Yeah, probably.
He's trying to push him out. And as we know, you don't start Muller.
That's what I mean.
Go ahead and get your bags packed.
But that's the same. We were just talking about that earlier. So what would you do if Muller is going to inhibit the growth of the team? Are you okay with forcing him out? If his play inhibits the growth of the team, you would push him out.
But his play, but there's a difference though with Robbery, right? Yeah. We relied so heavily on them that when they got injured, there was nothing that we could do. When Thomas Müller isn't in the game, we can still do things. We don't rely too heavily on him.
No, but I think the point I'm making is in that Galatasaray game, you had players who weren't doing anything.
Yeah, but
like after Harry Kane scored and then 5 minutes later Musiala scored, I would have put Thomas Muller in.
Thomas Muller is too slow for that game.
Galatasaray was done.
Oh, you talk about at the point when they're done, when they're tired.
I'm talking the 80th minute when it was 3-1.
Yeah, I can see that.
And so it's surprising that he didn't do that. And not that, they're professional athletes, so these dudes are already machines. It's not like they can't play 90 minutes, right? But like, you got to get that rest when you can.
Yeah.
I do believe in Thomas Tuchel's philosophy of like, we want to identify our starting 11 and get them as much game time together as we can, right? But when you're up 3-1, the other team is clearly gassed. You like, we should have been moving. Like, I would have subbed out Musiala too. Honestly, I would have subbed out Musiala and Sane and put in Muller and Tell on the wing. All you got to do is defend. Mm-hmm. The other team's tired. Be that link-up play. because what we did is we put Chupo as a 9 and didn't put anyone to link up play as a center attacking mid.
Yeah, it's weird that they took out Kane. I would have thought he would have put Chupa behind Kane. That's what I thought would have
right.
been. Yeah, that would have been the better option.
Yeah, but Chupo's not a good defender either.
Yeah, but his link-up play is really good.
Sure.
He can hold the ball up, all that stuff.
We probably should have scored 1 or 2 more, but in the dying stages of the game, Tell just had to look up, and he could have found Sane, or was it Coman? It was one of the two. Could have found Sane, and he threw up his hands and just walked, and I was like, "Come on, dude, we're not doing that. We're not doing that."
Yeah.
So I'm all about Sane being emotional, but you need to put it in the positive way, not in a pouty way.
Yeah, I hate that.
But he's upset because he knows he didn't have a good game.
Yeah.
So now the expectation is you're going to start again on Saturday against Darmstadt, and you're going to score a goal or get an assist. That's the expectation now on Sane, is that he is contributing every single game.
Yeah. At first I was going to be like, why did they put him on the left? But Coman killed it on the right.
Yeah.
Killed it.
They did the same thing against Mainz.
Yeah.
And Kingsley Coman's got 2 goals.
Yeah.
In 2 games.
And I think that
Sane has no goals.
I think he's not liking being on the left.
Yeah, but
because I'm sure the expectation is for him to cross.
They need to be more fluid. They need to be switching more often. I don't think they're doing it as much as I would like to see them do it. I would like to see them switch, every 15, 20 minutes essentially. Mm-hmm. And not like a, all right, it's time. Let's switch. Yeah. Like a more fluid.
Yeah. That defender that was on Coman was gassed. He was so tired.
Both of them. So Angelino, who used to play for RB Leipzig, came in and subbed him in. But yeah, he was gassed.
Oh my god! You could just see on his face. He's like, "Yo, I'm done."
and again, we're going down the right side.
Yeah.
But that's what Kingsley Coman brings to the team, is he takes on players and he beats them.
Yeah.
It's just his cross and his final product has always been just a little bit lacking.
Yeah. So what are your predictions for Saturday?
Darmstadt?
Yeah.
3-1 Bayern. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think it's going to be 3-1. I think it's going to be 4-0. Or 4-1. I'm going to go with 4-1.
4-1. I'm going to go with 5-0, man.
5-0 again?
Again. It's going to happen.
Well, one of us is going to be wrong.
Yeah.
Both of us are going to be wrong. Yeah, that's why not. But Darmstadt's, they're not a great team.
No.
I think 12th might be a little bit generous. I know they're in 12th, but I'm saying it might be a little generous for the quality of the team. I think other teams just been playing poorly. But
exactly.
But who comes after Darmstadt? Is it another Champions League game, right?
That's a Pokal. Yeah. Against Saarbrücken.
Oh, well, I'm glad that we drew another 3rd division team.
That's a game where we need to freaking rest. We need to play our tells, I'm gonna mess up his name. Kratzig.
Yeah,
there we go.
You said every other German name right with the accent and everything. And you're gonna call him Lenny Kravitz.
You play Chupa, you rest, and then you know what I'm saying, you play whoever else.
I don't think so.
On the wings. Dude, I got Dortmund after that.
Yeah, what, the Pokal's on a Tuesday?
Pokal's on a Wednesday.
And we got Dortmund on the Sunday. Saturday?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Rest.
I think you get. I think you put in our starters, keep them in there for 45 minutes, or until the score gets 4-0 or higher, and then you start subbing.
Start Thomas Müller, I think.
But what I do think you do is I think you start Pavlovic or someone or Kratzig. You get them integrate them into the starting lineup. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna come out there with a Chupo Tell and basically our youngsters all playing at the same time.
This is the problem when you don't have any depth at all.
Yeah.
We have our defenders, they're not going to get a break. They're not going to get a break. Maybe Peretz.
But you control it. It's a different kind of game because we could go play Mizraoui as center back again.
I don't want that.
You know what I mean? Or Goretzka's going to have a broken hand, so I don't. It's not that I want it either, but I mean, you can rotate a little bit. Plus, with a team that's in a 3rd division side, I'm not saying that they can't cause problems for like a Bayern team, but it's they are very clearly the center backs won't have too much to do other than to control the game.
I mean, the last when we played Mainz, that was 4-0.
Yeah, we should have had a lot more, but
yeah. But anyway, so
what do you think
about the score?
No, the Dortmund game.
The Dortmund game. What I think that we're gonna.
What do you think of their Klassiker?
It used to mean more, but that's what I think. It used to mean a lot more, but nah, I think that game is going to be. It's going to start off very intense. Where is it at?
Hopefully it's at home. I don't think it is. Though.
Nope.
It's away. Yeah.
Yeah, it's away. So you got to deal with the wall. You know, you got to deal with the fans. I think
how many in a row have Bayern won? Because it's like 5 or 6 in a row in the league.
Let me see.
Well, just a period.
Who head to head? So we have 23 wins. That's so funny. All right. So review all. There we go. So 4-2 in April. That was us. 2-2 was in 2022. 3-1 was for us in 2022, and then 3-2 for us in 2021. So it's peppered. It's not like we've been dominating like we used to do.
I remember that 4-2 game though. That was a good one.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, we'll see. What are your thoughts of Dortmund in the Champions League so far?
I haven't really been following them. I don't really care about Dortmund. I have not.
So yeah, I follow all the German leagues in the Champions League because German. But they don't. I don't know if they have a point yet.
No way. No way.
Excuse me. Oh, they do. They drew one. They have 1 point. But you know who look good? Newcastle is coming about, and they're starting to look really good.
Table.
Yeah.
Newcastle, one. Yeah. I love seeing Dortmund lose. I just love it. Like, it's so funny to me. Every time! And they're not even going to qualify for the Europa League. Oh, that is hilarious. God, I love to see it. Love to see it. And they play Newcastle. They play Newcastle tomorrow. I'm going to watch that game.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's hilarious.
I did say before the group stage started that Dortmund might not even get a point.
Really? You said that?
Mm-hmm.
I knew that was going to be a crazy group.
Yeah. I said they might not get a point.
Yeah, what's up with PSG, man?
What about them?
Like, they haven't... Mbappe, he hasn't been doing his thing.
Yeah, because all he wants to do is leave.
That's not a good attitude to have.
It is if you're going to, like, Real Madrid.
I mean, you think that... I mean, yeah, Perez? No, it's not Perez anymore. Who's the... Yeah, who cares?
I don't follow the league.
Who cares?
The one guy who bribed the other guy.
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
But, no, with Madrid... I don't think they care that he's having a bad attitude in PSG. I think they're just going to...
No, because they know he's a good player. Everyone knows he's a good player. And I think him moving to Real Madrid might be the smartest thing because Real Madrid is a structured, historic club. Mm-hmm. And, like, that comes with expectations. And it's not like PSG and, like, where your image is more important. Yeah. Like, Mbappe's image is very important to him. But I think him being at Madrid is more... That's going to help him fulfill the potential that he has. Like, it was the same thing for Ronaldo.
Do you think that with Mbappe going to Real Madrid eventually that will mess up what they have going, like the Jude Bellingham, the Vinny J, and all that?
You think? Because you put Mbappe on any team and he's going to do well.
Yeah, but like Mbappe, kind of like Musiala, right? He likes to venture off to the left.
No,
that's Vinny J territory.
No, I think Mbappe's going to play as an actual number 9.
Can he?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't know about if his hold-up play is good enough to be an actual number 9.
No need to hold up play because they maintain possession. They need speed through balls.
Nah.
And for Jude Bellingham to play in behind.
Where does Haaland go then?
I don't know where. Where's he gonna? Where else would he go?
Real Madrid.
Nah, I don't. They can't afford to have both of them. I don't think they can because La Liga has a salary cap.
Do they?
Yeah, so I don't know if they'll be able to afford both of them. I mean, maybe they can, but
it'll be a turn of events.
It's something that we talked about. If you have more than one player conducting, it doesn't ever work out.
Then I think Haaland goes to Barcelona.
Nah.
No, why not?
That club is going to cease to exist within the next couple of years.
That's pretty funny.
They should be bankrupt. Their debts are outstanding. They can barely register players.
So Haaland stays in City his whole career?
I don't think he's going to stay in City his whole career.
Where do you think he's going to go? Where could he go?
I think he's going to...
If Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, that's the only up for him.
Yeah, I think a club that has a good project can entice him. Like your Newcastles.
I don't think he'll go anywhere else in the Premier League.
I don't know. No, I'm not. I don't know. Maybe they'll go to Bayern.
Yeah, right.
Money. Be so great.
Yeah.
Be unstoppable.
We would be unstoppable.
But then again, I mean, Haaland had a great year last year, but I mean, he's been not as good this year, but it's because City are missing Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri, and so it really shows you who is the most important players on that City squad.
Yeah. Kevin De Bruyne is 1 in a million. 1 in a million.
Crazy that he played in the Bundesliga.
Yeah. Crazy that we almost had him. We should have let him. We should have let Pep buy him.
Yeah.
Should have.
I agree.
Whatever. But all right, man. Well, thank you guys for listening. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, only if you like. And yeah, see you guys next week.
Peace.